Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Awesome Embers and today I'm kicking off a new build series of what if the Disney princesses that we all know and love, being cute and innocent and kind of badass and kicking people's butts, but what if they were dark? They went to the dark side, they were evil, they were creatures of the night. And I came up with this idea around about Halloween time, and that is the time where you would normally see artists giving their impression of Disney princesses, of like creatures of the night and monsters. And I thought to myself, well, that's cool, isn't it? It's always interesting to see that. But these creatures of the night, these dark Disney princesses, they need somewhere to live. Where are they going to live? And so I thought it'd be a good idea to go about and create their houses. And we are starting off with Snow White because Snow White was one of the first Disney princesses, and I'm just going to go in the order of when their movies came out. So we're going to start with Snow White, then we're going to go off to Cinderella. I think she was the next one over. I don't know who comes after that. I have to look that one up on Google. But yeah, we're starting off with Snow White. So, what do you think of when you think of Snow White? You probably think of the Seven Dwarfs. Which one are you? I am most definitely a dopey. We are multi-layered human beings, so I'm probably a little bit more, but let's go into that later. So, you think of Seven Dwarfs, you think of the poisonous apples, you probably think of pie. Who thought that pie in the Snow White? Who thought that looked tasty? I did, and it was cooling on the windowsill. You would also think of the cottage that she shared with the Seven Dwarfs. Now, I thought to myself, that's a very pretty little cottage for little innocent Snow White, but we are creating a house for evil, dark Snow White, you know. She is a witch, so we need to create the cottage that represents that. So I do add a few more elements to Snow White's cottage because I think it's just like a simple L-shaped cottage, so I do add a few more bits and pieces to it to honour her evilness and to make it more ooh about it. But with the garden, at the moment, absolutely clueless as to what I'm doing with the garden. I don't bloody know, do I? But I wanted to put in lots and lots of mushrooms, but I don't know about you, there's something about mushrooms that is very magical, you know? So I wanted to put in a load of mushrooms in. And apart from that, that's all I knew about the garden. So there was one point when I was doing the garden, I was like, I really like the cottage and the way it looks. The garden, however, not so much. I don't like it, and I wanted to start again. I was like, what? Why am I asking myself, like, can I start again? I mean, of course I can start again. It's my own blooming bill. Of course I can. So I just rejigged the little water stream, and I just rejigged that to go the other way, and I got rid of a few bits and bobs here, and the way the bridge works, I just rejigged that, because I then thought to myself, okay, I reimagined the cottage, so there's got to be something about the exterior of the building that's got to be somewhat recognisable as Snow White, and so I came up with the idea, perhaps the garden that is in front of the cottage, perhaps I could base my cottage garden to that when you first see the cottage that she shares with the Seven Dwarfs. So the garden cottage for this house is based upon the exterior garden cottage of Snow White's cottage garden that she shares with the dwarves, alright? So that is what the garden is based upon, and like I said, she lives with 7 dwarves, 7 other men. Which dwarves do we recognise ourselves with? I recognise myself with Dopey. I'm 100% a Dopey. Yeah, some people say we are layered like onions of puff pastry, and so some would say we are more than one of the 7 dwarves. We are several or few of the 7 dwarves, and so I can quite happily say I'm a dopey. I think I'm 100% a dopey. Yeah, I'm dopey. What else am I though? Am I doc? No. No offence if you recognise yourself as a doc, but for me, he's a little bit dull, innit? He's just a leader, and I'm not a leader. I'm a 100% sheep, you know? I follow the crowd, literally. I remember I was going to like a job interview once, and it was I had to get there by train, but the train just stopped because it was terminating there. It's like, this is not my stop. I got a couple more train stations to go, and I basically didn't know what was happening. I was just, in my own little world, and I just basically followed the crowd to the next train. I had no idea if that train was going to where I wanted to. But, lots of other people were going there, so I went the same direction. And, yeah, I got to my interview in time. It was fine. Didn't get the job, but it was fine. But, yeah, so I'm not Doc. I'm Dopey. What else we've got? We got sneezy. I'm not sneezy, I don't have hay fever. I would say I sneeze about, a regular amount of sneezes. So I don't think I'm sneezy. Bashful. No, I'm not bashful, I don't get red. I think my mum's a bashful. She's always red in the face. So I don't think I'm bashful. Then we got sleepy. I don't think I'm sleepy. If anything, my sleeping pattern's all off whack. It's it doesn't know it should be, regular. Regular who? I don't know who that person is. My sleeping pattern's like. I need to get back to a good sleeping pattern, because at the moment I'm going to bed at like 3:30 in the morning and then waking up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not good, is it? I'm only getting 2 meals a day. That's not great for someone who's underweight like myself. So yeah, I don't think I'm sleepiness. I think I'm going the opposite direction. What else we've got? We've got happy. We got happy. Am I happy? Some would disagree. Some will probably say I'm grumpy. Can I just say this? Okay, I'm a human being. I will get grumpy some of the time, okay? It's just a natural human emotion, You gotta get grumpy. I'll be slightly more scared of a human being that was just, happy 24/7 and didn't express any, sadness or grumpiness, didn't get angry. I go, okay, okay. And so, yeah, so sometimes I get grumpy, alright, but am I grumpy 24/7? No, so I don't think I'm grumpy. But am I happy? I am annoying, I know that much. I am annoying, but am I happy? I'll say I'm happy. I think some people say I'm more grumpy than happy. But I do know a grumpy who is most definitely grumpy. More grumpy than happy. But yeah, I know a grumpy. But yeah, also I'm happy, So I'm dopey and I'm a happy. What else is there? Have I gone through all of them? Done Doc, done sleepy, done sneezy, done bashful, done sleepy. Oh, I said that twice. That's my dopiness coming out. No, yeah. I think I'm just a happy and a dopey. I'm just a couple of the 7 of the wolves. But, if you feel happy and comfortable, please tell me which one of the 7 are you, Because we are multi-layered human beings. We have more than one in us, But why 7? Why do they stop at 7? I would always like to know. But yeah, I was a tree in my Snow White play. In year 6, we had Snow White, we had Chaz, we had jockeys, and we had trees. And guess who I was? I was a tree! Yes, I was a tree. I was so happy with my role. I don't care if I was Snow White, because with Snow White, you had to audition for the role. It's like, I'm not auditioning. What? No, thank you. And I was a tree. And the best part about it was, 1, you didn't have an audition for the role. 2, you got like a speaking part. 3, there was a dance routine into it. And the costume that I wore was the same costume that the group of fairies 3 years before me wore. So 3 years before me is my sister. She was one of the fairies, and so the costume that I wore was my sister's costume when she was a fairy for Midsummer Night's Dream. But I was wearing it as a tree for my one. And the costume, for some reason, I had to buy like a black tank top to go underneath it. I can't remember why. I don't know if it was because the costume was itchy, or the costume was slightly see-through, or the costume just like had really big underarm holes. I don't know why I had to buy a tank top, but I did. And I remember going to Asda, and I think we went to Asda was because they had cheap clothing and they were most likely to sell like a size 4, because we were looking for like a really small size, and we couldn't find a size 4, so we went for a size 6 instead, and it was still huge on me. It looked like I was wearing like one of my parents' outfits or tops. And yeah, it was absolutely huge on me. And guess what? I still have that tank top to this day. It fits me now, which is brilliant. But it's a little bit on the holy side, you know. It looks like a bear got to it, you know. It looks like a bear had a bit of fun with it. And I just, you know, the bear gave it back to me like, oh, thank you, bear. That's so lovely of you. Thanks, bear. But yeah, it's very holy. We've got 2 massive holes to the left-hand side of this tank top, which you can quite happily put your hand through with your, you know, fingers splayed out and wide apart from one another. And there's a quite a large rip to the right hand side of the tank top. It's just to one side of the seam, but it's there. It's like halfway up, and yeah, I need to get a new one. I need to get a new black tank top. Oh yeah, okay, something odd and strange just happened. So okay, so let's just start at the very beginning of this strange oddness happening. So okay, a couple of days ago, me, my mum and my dad went on a walk to get a bit of exercise to get out of the house because my mum is the only one working at the moment. She's been working throughout both the lockdowns. And so me and my dad, we don't get out that much. So we went out and then went for a walk. And we went for a lovely walk by the river, saw like a water mill, could have gone to a garden centre, but I forgot my mask because I didn't realise we were going like inside anywhere. Anyway, on the way back, this is when the oddness happened because we were just walking back, minding our own business. My mum got scared of a squirrel because she wasn't expecting it to be there. And we then hear a thud and we both turn around, all of us turn around, and we see a dead pigeon. My dad said it was only half of him, but a dead pigeon just fell out from the sky. Now, when I was walking, when I got over the squirrel scare, I did notice some birds that flew out of a tree and was like flying above us. And I was like, what? Why is there a dead bird falling out from the sky? And my dad says that let's call the dead bird Brian. My dad said that Brian, there was like only half of him left. I was like, what? I could only see that his head was gone. I could only see that Brian's head was gone. So the pigeon's head was no more. I was like, what? Are the birds now cannibals now? Are they eating one another? Is this what happened to 2020 birds? I don't know. But yeah, it was very close to landing on my dad's head than it was me or my mum's because we were just in front of my dad. And it was just like, what? Why are dead birds falling out from the sky? And I was like, yeah, are birds eating each other now? What's happening? And no, my mum was more like, no, probably Brian had, you know, family, friends. And one of like Brian's family or friend found him. Was like, no, Brian, no, you deserve more, Brian. You deserve more than this. I need to take you away from this. And, you know, throughout the panic and confusion, their friends accidentally dropped Brian. And yeah, but we were close enough to it to hear the thud. And it was just like, that's just so strange. And the exact same day, I'm a Celeb on at this point, I don't remember, but we were watching telly. My mum was upstairs in bed. And so it was just me and my dad outside in the living room just watching telly. And then I hear something outside in the dining room, which is like just behind us. And I was like looking at my dad like, is something happening? I think because I thought it was my mum at first, just outside, and I looked at the clock and it was like 11:15. I was like, no, I don't know. It can't be my mum. I mean, she goes to bed really early. So I looked at my dad and he wasn't really reacting to it. So like, okay, it might be, you know, it's just me brain playing up. Half a dead bird just landed out from the sky and nearly hit my dad on the head. Or even worse, we could have took Brian home with us. It could have landed in my dad's hoodie because it was cold outside. And we could have brought Brian back with us and not even know until like when we got back. But no. So I was like, okay, it's just, you know, my imagination playing up. And I had to go outside in the kitchen 15 minutes later to put something in the bin. And then he then reminded me, you know, I heard some weird noises 15 minutes earlier. And I was like, you know, a little bit nervous to turn on the light. But I turned on the light. No one was outside like I thought. And I was like, okay, strange, but okay. And so I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up the next morning, well, no, not quite next morning, it's more like, lunchtime. And I woke up at lunchtime, okay. My dad had gone out to pick up my mum from work, and so no one was in the house. So I went downstairs to grab myself something to eat, and I would normally put on some slippers when I first come out of bed, but for some reason I didn't put any slippers on. I just went downstairs barefoot, and I felt some glittiness underneath my foot. I was like, oh, okay, a little bit dirty, we need to sweep the floors. And so, I just brushed it off against my other leg, and there was even more glittiness underneath my foot. And so I just grabbed the broom, swept it up, and then as I was sweeping the glittiness off the floor, I then noticed there was a pile of salt on my dining chair, because when we sit down to eat, we have like our places around the dining table. And when I say pile of salt, I don't mean like a little sprinkle of salt on my dining chair. No, I mean a big pile, a big pile of salt, enough for me to see there was salt on my chair. It was white. I could see there was salt on my chair. There was enough for me to see, and it was like a little white pile. I was like, okay, that's weird. Who accidentally outstretched their hand, knocked over the salt that we keep in a little egg pot, because we keep our salt in a little egg pot. We have a little spoon to sprinkle our salt on. Who just outstretched their hand, accidentally knocking the salt pot over, and just all swept up the bits and pieces that they saw, and didn't tell anyone about it. And so my mum and dad came back, and I was like, okay, which one of you knocked over the salt and just legged it and run and didn't tell anyone about it? And they both said, what, not me? What? No, that wasn't me. And I was just like, okay, this is not embarrassing. Why wouldn't anybody not admit to it? Because it's not humiliating, it's nothing embarrassing. You just knocked salt over. What's embarrassing about that? And they both said it wasn't them. I was like, what? Okay, this is strange. I don't understand why there was salt on my chair, because it was to the side of the chair and the back. And I was on the floor, and no one was admitting it. And I was like, okay, that's just strange. With half a dead bird falling out the sky that could have landed on my dad's head, to random salt pile on my chair. This is just weird and freaky. And then, this is the second time of me doing this voiceover. It could just be a computer glitch. This editing software that I'm using, it's very glitchy. But I did the voiceover, I was really happy with it. It's like, okay, me, I can have dinner now. And I tried to stop the voiceover recording, and it wouldn't let me stop it. And then I couldn't even move the cursor around to on my video. And it wouldn't let me stop it. It then got corrupted, so I couldn't use it. And so I had to do this again, delaying my dinner. And it's like, what's going on? No, what? Okay, this is just so strange. Okay, I don't like it. Okay, could strange things stop happening for me, please? I don't like it, love. So anyway, let's go back to this bill. Let's go back to our happy place. Evil dark Snow White as a witch. Yes, darling. So with this build, I try to keep the colours to the Snow White colours. So she has black hair, so I try to keep some black in here. She has white skin, as her name implies, Snow White. So I try to get some white in here. She also has red lips. I think she also like red in her dress, so I try to get some red in here. She also has some like yellow in her dress and blue in her dress. So I did try to use as many of the Snow White colours as I possibly could, keeping in mind I'm trying to make it look nice at the same time. You can't overdo it, otherwise it looks like someone just vomit Snow White colours all over the place. So I was trying to keep as many of the Snow White colours in there without making it look like a right old mess. So there's that in there. So you might have just seen me at some point during this video, I think I've done it already, but I put down 7 tombstones or headstones. There's 7 dwarves and 7 headstones. She could have got annoyed with them. Like, I'm evil. You're getting in my way of evil plans and evil doings. You're getting in my way. So, she could have hit them around the head with a shovel. And splat goes the brains. So yeah, there's 7 headstones. I did originally put them up in the spare bedroom. I don't know what that spare room is, even at this very moment in time when I'm doing this voice over. I have no clue as to what that room is, because I then moved the 7 headstones that could or may not be the 7 dwarves, but they're no longer here, down into the basement. And now I was thinking to myself as I was doing the garden, making sure it looked like the garden from the Disney Snow White, the film, and I was thinking to myself, wow, she's evil. Why would she hide it? She's out and proud and being evil and being witchy and doing evil things. So I moved the 7 tombstones out from the basement and into the garden. I mean, she's proud for being evil. She's proud of, may or may not killing the 7 dwarves. There are 7 headstones. The dwarves are nowhere to be seen. So, those 7 headstones could be the 7 dwarves. You never know. She could have poisoned them with an apple like a pie, or, bashed their heads in with a spade. I don't know. So yeah, I do move them to the garden. And so we do have a basement downstairs. There is nothing in it as so far, and there probably won't be anything in it, but there is a basement for you to use. With the spare room, like I said, I don't know what to put into it, and all my head is saying it could be like a spare bedroom, but why would anybody visit evil Snow White, especially when she's out and proud and being evil? And so why would anyone visit her? But it could be like a spare bedroom to keep someone for like spell casting. She needs a few bits and bobs from the person. I don't know, like their spleen or something. I don't know. But at the moment it is empty because I don't know what to do. This spell casting room, oh my lordy buddy. Whenever I do these kind of things, like spellcast room, I'm always inspired by Sassy Sims because she does these kind of rooms so well. But this took me so long to do. That spellcast room was like one of the longest things that took me to do in this house, because it was either this room or the garden that took me the longest to do, because there was just so many bits and bobs and knickknacks and potions and books and this clutter all over the place. Just took me so long to place and get them placed where I want them to be placed. And then at the very end, where I was like really happy with myself with what the build was looking like and how it looked and finished, then I noticed the round cats and dogs sort of, I don't know what they are, stump things. I don't know what they are. The thing that I got the green gem sitting on, they were sort of elongating themselves through the floor, and I was like, what the heck is that? What is that am I seeing? And I'm like, oh, I think it might be those things from cats and dogs. And I was like, what the flip-de-flop's happening here? So I was really kind of annoyed because it took me so long to do this room, and now they're just, out and proud dangling themselves, and I was like, what? Had to delete them, get rid of them, and just, shuffle things a little bit more about. So that took me a little bit more extra time. So thanks, cats and dogs thingy bobs, elongating yourselves. But it's like, why are you doing that? You're making yourself, not usable. You're limiting yourself, your usefulness, because you're just elongating yourself for absolutely no reason. So I had to get rid of them. This is where I'm going to leave you because I haven't got much else to say. But the next one will be Cinderella. At the moment, I'm not too sure what to do with Cinderella. All I've got is that she could be an evil ragdoll. And I'm not meaning the cat breed. They're like the Cabbage Patch dolls that you see, because cabbages and pumpkins, they all come about around about the same time of the year. But if you have any more ideas of what evil Cinderella could be, please tell me, because I'm not the biggest fan of the ragdoll idea. So yeah, if you have any ideas, please put them down in the comments section below and tell me what type of 7 dwarf are you? Are you a dopey like me? So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have enjoyed watching, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. So thank you and goodbye.